Hi, welcome to episode 100 of the Corner of Knit and Tea. I'm Laura, also known as Fluffy K on Ravelry, Fluffy Kira on Instagram and Twitter. I blog at thecornerofknitandtea.com, and that's where this episode and every episode show notes will be. I have an Etsy shop called The Stash Buckler Adventures in Yarn, where I sell my handspun creations. So hi, how are you? Welcome to episode 100. It is quite a milestone, and I am very excited to be here. Where I am actually is Colorado. I tried to get a little bit of the mountains behind me. You can kind of see just a little bit. We are in Frisco, which is not too far outside of Breckenridge, Colorado. And we have been here for a couple nights getting my husband acclimated to the altitude because he is going to run a half marathon tomorrow morning in the trail run, and Frisco is at 9,097 feet, so we are in the mountains. So we are currently at the Frisco Adventure Center, which is a really cool park. It has got a skate park, so you might hear a little bit of that. It has got all kinds of kids' bicycle parks and things, so you will see kids riding bikes riding by. I tried to find a kind of an abandoned corner of the patio of the clubhouse, which you can see here, just so that I could record a little bit in some place that looked interesting and be a little out of the way so I don't feel silly talking to myself in public and attract lots of attention. And my husband is off playing disc golf. We actually played on the course yesterday and really enjoyed it. It is a nice course. It's got beautiful views of Lake Dillon and the marina and the mountains surrounding here. It's just a gorgeous small mountaintop town, very ski lodgy, and I'm sure it's fabulous in the winter, and in the summer it seems like there's lots of concerts and outdoor activities. You notice I'm wearing a sweater. It is in the high 60s today, and so it is beautiful in the sunshine, and then in the shade it's just a smidge chilly, so I thought I would bring that with me. So I thought I would do a little bit of the podcast from here. The podcast will actually be in two parts. One will be here while I talk about everything that I'm knitting on vacation and working on. And then when I get home, I will record another small section, and that will be on Sunday. Today's Friday. I will record a small section about the prizes and giveaways for episode 100. So thank you for joining me, and let's dive in. I do not have any tea today. I do have a Diet Coke, but I don't think that has the same ring, so I will sort of omit that portion of the podcast. And I don't have any spinning, although I do have a travel wheel. I elected not to bring it with me because I had some things I wanted to work on, and I have gotten lots of knitting done, so that was definitely a smart plan. So the first thing that I did is I have a friend who is knitting hats for an underserved school. I know, this sounds right up my alley. She adopted a school, and I don't know exactly all the parameters. I know that they have about, she adopted the school, and she asked what she could send, and I believe if you send something, they want, they either suggest that you send money, I believe, or they want something for each student, and my friend suggested that she could knit everyone hats. So I believe it is a K through 5th grade, and she is knitting 70 to 75 hats. So I decided that I would knit a couple and join her. So I brought some leftovers on the trip with me, and the first hat that I did is a Ribberoni hat. You have seen me knit this many times before, and this is just some leftover yarn. I think it's a brown sheep superwash, and then the green is a little bit of that Ella Ray merino that I used, and you can see it's kind of a purpley, it's called Midnight Heather. So that's the first one. And the second one is some Cascade 220 leftovers, and I played a little bit. This is also Ribberoni, a slightly larger size, and I played a bit with colors. And I have a little bit more of all three of these colors, so I think I'm going to try and crank out one more hat, and then I have one more at home to send. So she'll end up doing almost 71 hats, but I'm going to send my 4 to hopefully help her along and give every child a hat. So those are the first 2 things that I have done on this trip, and those have been fun. I did those like the first day or 2 because they kept me busy. The second project, and the one that I showed you that I was going to start at the beginning of this month, is actually almost finished. It is Roxy's third birthday sweater, and this is the Wee Leavenwick pattern by Gudrun Johnson. And I don't think I'll show you the black and white. I've done that before, and actually I am pretty much done with this one. I finished the sweater this morning, and I knit, well, so let me show you the sweater first, and then we'll talk about what I still have left to do, but I am done with the knitting. This is a really cute, it is a cardigan, it's slightly asymmetrical, and it is one of the patterns that was done with Brooklyn Tweed yarns, although what I used was, let me see if I have the tag with me. Yes, I do. What I used was Threadhead Designs, Hand-Dyed Fibers by Marcy Blank. She is local to me, and it was a superwash, 100% superwash merino wool, 8 ounces, 560 yards, and it is purples and pinks. You can see that's actually a great representation of the colorways. So I thought it would be great for Roxy because it's got purples and pinks just like she likes, and I went ahead and knit her up the Wee Leavenwick. And like I said, this is an asymmetrical cardigan, so it's got an extended front. You start with a little bit of old shale lace for the neckline, and then it is a reverse stockinette cardigan, and then it's got some creative finishing with some old shale lace and some really creative one row buttonholes for the front. And I have some big buttons for this. It will only get can't remember whether it's 4 or 5 buttons, and it will get some big buttons. It needs a really good blocking because the edges are tending to roll. It also has some really nice I-cord finished edges, which just add a really nice touch to this pattern. So I'll show you some of the trim. It's got the I-cord edging on the bottom, and then like I said, it's got this beautiful applied button band, which I just love. So it needs a really good blocking. And then the one other thing I have for it is, and I think it went back in, it gets a little pocket on the front, and the pocket also has the little shale lace detailing on the top, and then, oops, that's backwards, the little shale lace detailing on top, and then it's just a plain pocket. So my plan is actually to block the sweater and block the pocket, and then put that on, and then get all the buttons on so that it is ready to go. And this is for Miss Roxy's 3rd birthday. She will be 3 at the end of October, and I need to get going on my Rhinebeck sweater, so I wanted to get this one knocked out so I would be sure to be done in time for her birthday. So basically I just need to take this home. We will be home Sunday afternoon, and then I will block it and sew on the pocket and the buttons, and it will be good to go. So that is that one done. At least the knitting part is done. So that leaves me with my final knit. Well, I brought 2 others, but that leaves me with almost my final knit. And this one is the one that I showed you where I was going to teach myself brioche. And this is for Camp Loopy 3. And these are the colorways that I'm using. This is Hedgehog Fibers, and it is her sock base. It is super soft. And this one, this beautiful dark one, is Vengeance. And this light one with specks of neon, which is not showing up, that's a little bit better, is Crybaby. And what I wanted to do is, this is my 3rd Loopy project for Camp Loopy, and I also wanted to do a project for the Olympics. And so I decided that learning a new skill would be great for the Olympics, and that new skill that I wanted to learn was going to be brioche. Now, I showed you the pattern that I picked out before. It was Sizzle Pop, and it was a beautiful brioche shawl that had some chevron detailing. And what I learned is I picked a slightly too complicated pattern for learning a new technique. I find that I still need to think about this a little bit, and doing that plus following a chart with all kinds of increases and decreases and trying to keep things going well and not dropping stitches or not able to figure out where it wasn't really working. So what I did is I switched to a slightly simpler brioche pattern for my first time, and oh, this is the wrong one. I took out the wrong pattern and put the right one away. So this is Le Moyeu, which translates to squishy in French, and it is a shawl by Nina Phillips. And it is designed, it can either be symmetrical or asymmetrical, and I think I chose the asymmetrical version. I only printed out one version of the pattern, and I'm following her instructions, so I cannot remember. I think the set that I printed out was the asymmetrical, but I guess we'll find out. I'm pretty sure it is. So that is what I have been doing, and it took me a couple tries to cast on and learn how to do it, but I am now several repeats in. It's interesting because I'm quite a few repeats in, and it's not that big, and I still have a lot of yarn left, even though I feel like I've done a lot of knitting. So brioche knitting is a type of knitting where you can use well, you can use two colors or you can use a single color, although you would need it in two balls. I'm using two colors, and a couple of the features of brioche are that it is the same on both. It's a pattern by which everything is the same on both sides. And it is super squishy because it creates, I don't even know how to describe it, it creates kind of a almost webbed looking stitching, and I sort of called it corrugated ribbing, which it's not, but it kind of, because that is a completely different technique. But, so I don't have a good way to describe this technique, but one of the techniques of brioche is that you knit each row twice. So usually you do brioche on a circular needle, because you knit through once with your dominant color and then you knit through once with your non-dominant color or your main color or contrast color. So you knit each row twice before you actually flip your work. When you finish the first pass through, then you slide your needle back to the original end and then start again. So what I have done so far is I don't remember which I guess this is the main color side, even though I didn't really need it to be the main color, but that is just what I picked up and started with. And you can see, it's a little bit hard to see, but there are some beautiful pops of neon. You can see like the pink over here. There's some pops of yellow, and then occasionally there's a pop or two of blue. So that is one side, and you can kind of see what I mean by the corrugated ribbing, because you can see the non-dominant color sort of in the background, and then when you flip it over, it looks exactly the same on the other side, except now the white is in the background, and now you get the beautiful color of, I'm trying to get close enough to show you there we go, you can kind of see that, the beautiful color of the hedgehog fiber. So I really don't have that much done yet, as you can see, it is not a shawl yet. And I'm planning to just keep going till I almost run out of yarn. I started, like I said, with the white as my dominant color, so the white ends up being on the edging, so I need to finish just a little bit before I run out of the speckly yarn. I keep calling it white, but it's very speckled. I'll have to take some photos and put them in here, but it's very speckled and very pretty. So I will need to do the bind off in the speckled color, so I will need to stop just before I run out of that one, even if I have a little bit of the other color left over. So this is an enjoyable knit. Like I said, I kind of need to be able to think to do it, so some nights we've gotten back to the room at 9 p.m. and I'm like, I can't do it. So, but some nights we've been coming back to the room and watching the Olympics, and I have been knitting along on my Olympic project. I don't know if I'm going to finish this by the end of the Olympics. I hope to get as much of it done as I can, and I need to have it done by the end of the month for Camp Loopy, and each skein is 400 yards, and like I said, I plan to pretty much use it all, so that's about 800 yards on this project. So I do need to get moving, but save for the Harry Potter socks, which I have shown you and have done no progress on, absolutely zero progress on. Save for these and that, and potentially one more hat. I really don't have that much. I guess that's a lot of knitting. Never mind. I don't have that much other knitting with me. And Wes is going to run the marathon tomorrow morning, so I suspect I will be doing, I will be knitting for several hours while he's running, or the half marathon tomorrow morning. So I suspect I'll be knitting while he's doing that, and this is the project I plan to do. Plus then we have the drive home. And I'll probably do half the driving home because basically tomorrow he's going to run and then we are going to start the drive home. The drive home is probably about 10 hours. So we'll probably do maybe 3, 4, 5 hours tomorrow and then we'll just do the rest on Sunday. So, and tomorrow I'll probably drive because he'll be tired. But Sunday I'll get to work on it and then I have all this week and next weekend. So I still could finish this before the end of the Olympics. We will have to see. And then it will be time for me to start on my Rhinebeck sweater, which I really need to get started on because that is a tunic length sweater and it is 2,000 yards. And while I have certainly knit a sweater for myself in a month, normally that's 1,000, 1,200 yards. It's not usually a full 2,000. So I will definitely need to get cracking on that. So that's most of what I have to show you today, except I do have a wee bit of stash enhancement. The first part of our trip we spent in Colorado Springs. We decided to do that because we decided to start acclimating him. So we live in Kansas City, which is about 1,000 feet above sea level. And Colorado Springs is at about 6,500 feet, 6,000, 6,500 feet above sea level. And I thought it would be a good stopping place for us to do for a few days to sort of get him acclimated to that. And he did some short runs there, which were nice. And my college roommate, who is also a knitter, lives there. So we spent some time with her and her husband. And she suggested a yarn store to me. So Wes was very kind and tolerated my going. Sorry, I'm just packing a few things up here on the chair. And so we stopped briefly and I brought what I bought because I wanted to show you. I keep thinking like maybe I'm attracting attention here. This is from, let me pull the business card. It is called You and Me. It is a yarn boutique up by Garden of the Gods, and what we did is we actually went to Garden of the Gods, which is a beautiful red rock park out in Colorado, and then we went yarn shopping, and then we went and had ice cream afterwards. So it was a pretty great day, and they put it in this really nice bag and then tied a beautiful ribbon on it. So I really have to say it was a beautiful little yarn store. If you are in the area, you should definitely go, and they were so very nice. It just seemed like a really nice place to be, and there was a table and there was a class going on, but everybody was just super welcoming. And he asked if I was looking for anything in particular, and I had been told by my friend that they have a bunch of local dyers featured. So I looked at the local dyers because it's stuff that I couldn't get near to me, and I actually ended up getting 2 skeins of yarn. They are from, let's see what we've got. It is called Spruce Dragon LLC, and I got 1 skein of her Durango base, which is 100% superwash merino in the colorway Blaze, and again the name is Spruce Dragon LLC. The dyer is Karen Courier, and the colorway is Blaze. It is just fiery oranges and reds. I fell in love with that skein, and then it's just got a little bit of like a green or yellow in there, and this is on superwash merino, so I'm thinking this will probably be a shawl, just because it's too pretty and soft. The other color that called my name is actually a limited edition color. It is Spruce Dragon LLC, again the same dyer, and it is a limited edition color for You and Me. It's exclusive, and it's called Purple Mountain Majesty, and this is on a merino tencel fingering base. So I think this will be socks, and I don't think, my computer's never good at the blues. It is at greens and blues and purples, and it is just beautiful. I just keep trying to, it might be not too bad. So that is, that's the second skein, and really I was deciding between these 2 skeins, and I turned to my husband and said, which do you think? And he said, well, what are you going to do with them? And I said, well, this one would probably be a shawl, and this one would probably be socks. And he said, well, why wouldn't you get both? Smart man. The other thing that I got there, which I thought was really cute, and I thought I would show you anyway, if I can figure out which bag I shoved it in, I think it's this one, is I got a really cute Notions case. Actually, Wes picked it up, and you know what? I'm not sure I brought it. Well, that's a bummer. I think it might be on the bed in the hotel room. That is a bummer. I will show you that on the next podcast, so sorry that I can't show it to you today. So I guess that probably, oh, maybe it's in my bag. Hang on. I really thought I threw it in there, but I did not. Okay, it'll have to be next time. So I guess that's about it that I have for you. I have about 45 more minutes to kill until Wes comes back. So I think I am going to sit out here in the beautiful and just knit and enjoy my time. So thank you for joining me for this, and I will record another small segment that will come up after this one. So I will see you after the flip of the camera. Hi, it's me back for part 2. You are getting me a little warm. We turned down the AC when we went away, and the house is very warm right now. And I am running around doing chores and getting things done, but I wanted to get this podcast out and show you a couple things and then talk about the giveaways. So, the last 2 things that I wanted to show you are the spin that I had been working on. That was the red superwash merino cashmere nylon fiber, and look how squishy and lovely it is, and that is a pretty accurate color. It is bright red, a little bit to the orange side, although there are little bits that are blue. And you know what, I forgot to figure out how much yardage this is, but this is probably between a lace and a fingering weight, and it is 8 ounces. So I'm thinking I probably got between 650 and 700 yards, if not a little bit more. And this is going to go up in the shop this evening. So if this is something that you think you might want, it would make an amazing shawl. Like I said, it's superwash merino, cashmere, and a little bit of nylon. And it is just amazing. I had so much fun with the spin. So I already took beautiful photos. It is super squishy and lovely. And I am going to put it up in the shop this evening. The second thing that I wanted to show you was what I was talking to you about, the little Notions case that I got. It did not come with a label, so I don't know what they call this, but it comes with a little lanyard cord, and then it's a nylon cord, and to be honest, it reminds me of almost like a case for fishing flies or something, so I don't know if it is specifically marketed towards knitters, but it is this little case, and when you snap it open, it has all these little sections, and as you see, I have put all kinds of different things in there. I have all my different kinds of stitch markers, progress keepers, stitch markers that I borrowed from someone and need to give back this week. I have some waste yarn in there, a bunch of different kinds of waste yarn. These are little tabs that would go into these long ones if you want to break them up some, divide them up, but I actually like them as they are because this big section right here that opens holds my scissors, beautifully, and also a darning needle. So I have pretty much everything I need right at my fingertips in this little case, and the thing I like is that everything snaps securely, even though it rattles a little bit. All these little compartments open so that you can get in and get what you need, and I absolutely love this, and it was $3.99 at the yarn shop that I went to, so I wish I knew what to call it. I will do a little Googling and see if I can find anything and put it in my notes, because this was totally a worthwhile purchase, and my husband found it for me. So those were the 2 things that I couldn't show you in the last section of the podcast, so let's go to the giveaways. This is episode 100, and I want to thank you so much for sticking with me. We are about 2 years into the podcast now, and I had no idea when I started how long I would continue to go or how many episodes I would record, and so this has been a super fun journey for me, and I thank you all for coming with me on this journey. It has been so much fun, and I'm so happy that I wanted to share the love. So I have 2 prizes that I'm going to be putting up for. It will be a random number generator, and I'm going to start a Ravelry thread, and there will be a prompt in it, but I don't know what it is yet. So you want to head over to the Corner of Knit and Tea Ravelry group, and I want to remind everyone again that when you enter those prize drawings, you must be a member of the group. So you need to click join. Last time we had a number of people who entered into the raffle, and The random number generator actually landed on one of them, but I had put in the rules that you have to be a member of the group to win, so unfortunately I had to redraw. And I also want to say, Siberian Cat Penny, I have not heard from you yet, so please let me know, because I still have your skein of Briggs and Little sitting here waiting for you to claim it. So let's talk about episode 100. Last year, I was visiting Spun Right Round shop. She is a beautiful dyer on Etsy, and she had this great colorway, and I dithered and dithered over it because I wasn't sure exactly. I didn't think I should buy more yarn, and so I dithered and it went, and then I was really sorry that it went, so I emailed her and asked her if I could get a custom colorway. And the colorway is Bug Juice, and I have it on an 80-20 sock, which is 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 400 yards, and it is this great gray and pink and acid green, and this would make fabulous, fabulous Halloween socks. It was part of her Halloween giveaway, and it being mid-August now, by the time this gets to you, it will be September, and September is the perfect time to knit yourself some Halloween socks. So this skein is part of the giveaway from me. And then the second giveaway from me is Hello Yarn fiber. And my normal rules apply here. If you win the fiber and you want to spin it, fabulous, I will send it out to you. If you win the fiber and you want me to spin it up for you, I will go ahead and do that. You just need to give me a week or two to get that spun up and out the door. And I'll mail it first class with delivery confirmation, so you'll know exactly when it's leaving. But I just usually need about a week to spin it up. And so this is called Mom's Favorite. It was a shop update on Polworth, and I will take a better picture of it, but it is pinks and purples and browns and then a little bit of gray blue. And Polworth is a super soft merino, so this will be very squishy. It is not superwash. It could be used for socks, although you'd have to hand wash them. And I have no idea what yardage I'll get, but if you want the bag of fiber yourself, I would be more than happy to send it to you. And if you want me to spin it, just give me a little time. So these are the two prizes from me. And then the third prize, and let me load this up, I should have loaded it up before, was generously donated by a member of the group. And you see me, I'm struggling at the moment, so let me just pull this up really fast. This was donated by a generous watcher of the podcast and a friend of mine on Ravelry. She emailed me and asked if she could donate something to me or donate something to be a prize. And so I just need to open this for 2 seconds. And it is donated by Winemaker's Sister. And I know her name, but now I'm like, oh, am I going to say it wrong? I'm pretty sure her name is Heather, so let me just open this up. And she has a shop on Etsy where she sells wonderful stitch markers and all kinds of things. And she offered to send a chatelaine. And if you don't know what that is, it is a key ring with some stitch markers, and it looks like some scissors and some other things. Yes, her name is Heather. I knew that. But I was just, you get started and you're like, wait a minute, am I going to say the right name? So let me open her shop on Etsy so I can show it to you. And I will show you what a chatelaine is. Let's see. And she offered to make a special, so this is Winemaker's Sister. Let me pull this down. Winemaker's Sister out of Jackson, Michigan, and she has wonderful things. She has some mugs, she has customizable stitch markers, she has just all kinds of things. She does Harry Potter stuff, she does Jane Austen stuff, and now what I'm going to show you is not going to be what you will get, because she offered to do a custom chatelaine for the Corner of Knit and Tea with knitting and tea stitch markers. So what I am showing you is an approximation of what you will get, but it will be Corner of Knit and Tea themed. And so it is a keychain. It's got some scissors, it's got some special stitch markers, and it's got a row counter on there. And it's got that clip, so you can clip it to your bag, and you've got everything kind of in one space. So I really, really, really want to thank Heather. She is lovely. I am going to draw the winner for this, and let her know, and then she will contact you to get your information, or I guess I'll have you send me your information, and then I can pass it along to her and she will get your prize out to you. So that is 3 prizes for the 100th episode giveaway. Like I said, I will start a thread in the Ravelry group. So by the time you are watching this, it will be available. And please go there and enter. And thank you for following along for 100 episodes. Maybe we'll do 100 more. Okay, I'll say I don't have any tea with me, but I'll say happy knitting, happy spinning, happy sipping, and I'll see you next time. Bye!